because we're doing sweaty tryhard Factorio stuff. So for those who missed the setup of this, because I think this is the second stream we've done in this run, that we set it up with the random resources with the new update, but this is not the right factory. This is, there we go, random sweaty. There we go. Yeah. Stop that. I was showing off a bunch of our factories when we wrapped up stream last time. But we have set it to be 100 times material requirements for our elevator, which is why that says 5,000 when normally it should say 50. So you can see our factory is already growing rapidly and all that good stuff. And really the big limiter we're running into at the moment is effectively belt throughput. Yeah, so you're running at 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Okay, so those are all going perfectly fine. 100%, 100, 70, 70. Okay, so what is the holdup here? Rotors. Hey, Radamant! Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had yourself a good stream and all that. But welcome in, Raiders. I know I saw you streaming. I don't remember what it was. But go ahead and check out Radamant. Absolutely fantastic. Ah, yeah, the Voidling Bound. Right. The one where you genetically alter stuff and then you take over their minds and fight with them. Definitely right up there with RimWorld so far as are we the baddies. But definitely check out Radamant. Absolutely fantastic content creator. Again, thank you so much for that raid. Plays a lot of similar games to what we play here, so, you know, if you like RimWorld, you like any of that kind of stuff, you can find it over there with Radamant. Does lots of really fun content over there, which of course also means the inverse is true, which if you like the content over there, you probably like it over here. I'm doing good. Had a wonderful day yesterday going out to Kennedy Space Center and seeing the Atlantis shuttle with the niece and nephew and all that good stuff. Doing some sweaty try-hard Satisfactory and going from there. Going to be doing a hunting game of all things later on the stream to see what people think of that. And we'll figure that out. But for those who don't know me, I'm Rual Storge. I do play a variety of games here on Twitch. It is a very wide range of games. Lots of simulation, strategy, tycoon, roguelike, automation. It's all over the place. So, it looks like the, but again, thank you so much for that raid. I really do appreciate it. So, it looks like I was low on rotors. That, to get our situation better so far as to upscale this farther, I need to increase my rotor production. Now, the problem we're starting to run into is I'm starting to get kind of squished in here, which is going to be more and more of an issue as we do this. Now, I got some options of how I could deal with this. One is I'm already having to stack pretty high to make room to accommodate because of how much screws I have to put through this. I'm trying to remember, did we get... Oh, that's right, we got rid of the screws on this one because we got the recipe to use copper wire. And we did not get a recipe to get rid of the screws on that side. Yeah, so you're basically at capacity. Alright. So realistically, I'm going to need to get another assembler in here. And that's going to need me to make more room. I have got to clean this all up. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is... You're doing fine on your iron ore. That's all going fine here. Your screw production. Right, because we did get the cast screws, which is a really strong early game thing. Yeah, so what's going to need to happen is the big problem you run into with screws is just the fact with screws there's so many that go onto the belt that your belt itself becomes your throughput issue. As you can see, I've basically got 3 separate sets of belts now going over to our machines. So if I want to scale this up again, I have to add yet another set of belts. But we are playing with the random resources. Okay, and I believe it is 2 of these to overwhelm one of my belts. Oh, that's cool. They made it so that I can zoop as well. I didn't realize that. Alright. Okay, and it looks like I had something researching in the MAM that got finished. But yeah, so it looks like what I'm going to need to do is push through more screws coming out of there to then send them down to make more rotors, and then hopefully get all that. So the MAM is over here. We could do iron wire or fused wire. The fused wire has a much higher throughput, so I'll take that, even though it's more involved. And I'll immediately jump off this and hurt myself. Don't mind me. Okay. Because I'm trying to remember where we're at, because it's been almost a week since we worked on this playthrough. But yeah, so what ultimately I want to do is... we're making a giant factory. I've made different styles factories over the year on the stream. I've done more than one full playthrough of this game. So we had one where it's just one giant tower. I had one where each location kind of just did one thing and we trained all the materials everywhere, which was pretty cool. And this time we're doing something completely different than all that. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing I don't like here. I'm gonna have to clean all that up, which is gonna be another thing to work on. Okay, we can go here real fast and get the merger. I don't need to grab more of my plates. But the whole time we're doing this, we are getting those plates, or we are getting the smart plates done. And the challenge I'm running into right now is just the fact that I need more rotors. Now, the other problem I'm running into is we've got to work on this in a big way. I'm really not loving the way this looks. Actually, for that matter, let's just go all the way to the chase. There. That at least looks a little better. Okay, so we got those. So you have 1, 2, and then you have 4. So that's got enough throughput. It should be able to handle a couple of more. Actually, let's take that back. So So you're being fed in here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we might actually exceed what it can do, but we'll figure that out. Okay, so we've got that. So next up, you can handle 2 more before you need another power pole. So that I've got the stuff going there. Alright. So now's where the real question comes in about where I'm fitting this, because these two are a different thing. And these probably should have been located much farther away earlier. But I haven't really given myself room. And rewiring, that'll take a minute. I don't want to take it down while it's operating. So my options are, one is I could build another floor above here, since that's already pretty high up there. And you'd be able to do that. Is it really only the 2? No, it's 3, okay. And it would certainly be one option. Let's put our set machines up here on one of these splitters up here, just split it, go up a floor. And it's what I'm kind of leaning right now. Okay, so we can probably go here. Oh, right. I never really gave it another jetpack. I said it was like, okay, just gotta get up there and do that. Let's just see where the cutoff height-wise is. Okay. I hadn't planned on making a second floor already, but here we are. One thing I'll probably want to do is once we get this job done, we're not doing the smart plates. I probably will need to start breaking this off where it's like this section makes the rotors and then we belt the rotors from one spot to another. Because that's where we're kind of running into the problem here. Okay, so you... can be brought over here. And then you... we brought up here. We'll get like the ports and all that later. And we could just grab you. Alright, trying to decide how I want to do this. What we could probably do is grab you, twist you this way, and that's where you're going to merge in over here. But what I should be able to do is if we go here and go to the splitter. That's fine, we can make this work. Or not. We'll do it this way. Alright, so splitter. There you go. Then grab one of these stack things. That's actually not a good place for it. Grab one of these stack things over here. And we could feed you over there. And one over here. Okay, so with that, that'll be enough to make a rotor happen. So now I need to bring power up here. By that I mean I'm going to miss my jump. I'll definitely need to get a much better way to get up here later. So you are full. You're going to be needed over there. You are also full. Yeah, we can pass that up. Yeah, so like I said, I think we're gonna end up needing to do for this one with the scale we're talking here is I am going to need to make dedicated situations there. Alright, so you're good there. So now, the rotors go down here, so we gotta feed into this spot. What we could probably do for that is grab that and just run it up and feed it in. Because the good news is the rotor's throughput is very, very low. It's the screws that are the problem. So if we can get away from screws entirely for a lot of that, this would be good. Okay, so you're making another thing of rotors. That gets fed in here. Goes to the same system as the rest of this. Okay. So now the question is, do those all hold up at their speeds? And if I want more, I'm going to need another conveyor belt, because I think each one of these belts is only good for one. Because you're taking 100 screws per minute, and that belt can handle 120. So if I want more, I need even more conveyor belts of screws going up here into this monstrosity stack. How goes the iron ingots going in, though? So far, so good. Let's run back here. Oh, you don't even have a buffer chest. That's like literally you're just backlogged that much. Okay. Yes, so far that's maintaining just fine. Alright. Well, before we start the next one, we can sort this out. We can grab the materials I don't want to be having on my person and just bin them. Like I saw there was ingots. Get those out of my life. Okay. So what I need to do is back over here somewhere. I've got all my biomass power because we are before coal is available. So we are making a very, very large factory for running entirely on biomass power, which is going to make biomass more and more and more of a headache. Do I have? I do not have... Actually, I got 64 biomass. That's fine. Hey, Comac, how's it going? So let's see. So you're holding... You can technically exceed my power capabilities right now, so we don't want that. Nah, that's fine. Okay, and we're just increasing our throughput here. You still seem to be churning away. How is our fuel supply? Fuel supply is great. How is the input side, though? Empty, a little bit, and empty. Oh, right, I don't have... So more and more, we're just going to pick up everything we can. And we make it a point to make these trips every so often, because I do not anticipate our dependence on biomass calming down for a hot minute. Eventually, we absolutely need to get off of it. But we're talking a pretty big setup here. And once we do this run for the biomass, I think what we do from there is we take a quick detour, see what materials I can grab to keep research going on the MAM. And just keep on working to keep things moving. Especially if we can get the research for the ability to detect the wrecked ships. That'd be a good one. Another thing to also check is if we're getting a surplus of the concrete and a surplus of the of iron, it would be worth us, you know, continuing to go through a process of paving the world. Just give ourselves more and more room. Because the goal here is I'm kind of trying to make a platform that I could just move materials up to. Because we're talking with this, like, 100 times resource requirements. I'm just going to need more and more. And the more I can bring everything up very easily to the platform to get it where it's needed, the better. You so badly want to call off work, but you can't. Yeah, no, I've had those days. Where, like, I do not know how I'm going to manage the next day at work. But I'm going to just have to find a way. I see a ship up there. Which is really convenient. Just straight up deleting a forest, don't mind me. Feeling cute might decimate an ecosystem. I do appreciate those really big trees give me a lot of wood. Okay. But the reason I'm doing it this is just, if I approach it this way where I purge a whole area.
Consume. The effigies ripples through our temples, our veins nearly touch. He is shy. Notes shall be taken and played.
From a certain perspective, your brain looks like it is processing language, but there is no auditory data. If you are hearing voices that are not mine, this is no cause for concern. It is a common side effect of extreme pressure and stress.
Okay. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Let's see, Satisfactory DLC where you have to restore the ecosystem after you made a mass factory. I feel like Factorio would be the game more appropriate for that one. Like, don't get me wrong, you jack the planet up pretty good in Satisfactory. But I would definitely say, so far as like the visceral experience of where you ruin the planet, Factorio definitely delivers that more. That's weird, I cannot saw that tree. Because, like, Factorio, the first planet you have where, like, everything starts to turn brown. Literally, the water itself starts to turn this, you know, copper, like, oxidized coppery green. The forests all die from, like, not even you sawing it down or burning it, but, like, it all just kind of withers from all the pollution you're doing. Like, you properly jack up Novus in Factorio. It is a thing you can actually go and slowly work on de-jacking up the planet if you wanted in Factorio. But, you know, who's gonna do a thing like that? Okay. It is also those things that as I'm like purging all this stuff, I'm finding like the caves and all that because there's no longer brush or anything to hide it. So pretty soon I can think. With the agricultural towers on Gleba, you can use the plant trees on Novus. Yeah, no, that's the thing, is I know you can, like, sort of fix it. So the challenge there, though, is you have your factory still producing copious amounts of pollution. So it is just kind of one of those things that you have to, like, aggressively plant trees. Because the pollution slowly kills the trees again. So you need the Gleba things to plant the trees nearby your factory. And then just keep doing it. And have enough of a buffer that they can kind of absorb the pollution. So that the rest of the planet may be spared. Oh, you're just a power slug. Okay. I actually thought I was climbing the other one that had that shipwreck on it. Okay, so this is the one with the shipwreck on it, just so I don't lose track of it. I can add a new marker right there. And we'll go ship. Apply. That's fine. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to run back. We got basically a full inventory of biomass that should keep our biomass burners running for a pretty long time. In that meantime, we've had a bunch of the smart plates have been just churning away, doing their thing. Alright, so you gotta remember, so you're wood, right? Yeah, so you're the wood one. Boom, there's wood. You're plant. And the last one will be alien protein. But to do that, I need to, process that down by hand. Let's see. Store you. These are all other materials we can't use yet. Store you because I can't use it yet. The rest of those I can. Drop you off. Okay, so that should keep that running for a very long time. And thank you, Shadow Peon, for the Prime Gaming sub. And you've been subbed to the channel for 16 months. I appreciate the continued support. It means a heck of a lot. And so thank you so much for that. Alright, so we got all the stuff I care about here. Okay, so for the megafauna, the only things I've got is stuff we can't do much with. I can't make steel yet. That requires steel. I have to find a sloop. That requires that, which requires steel. So that's all done for pretty much now. Can't make plastic yet. Can't make steel yet. And thank you, Red Hawk Black Sheep, for the raid. I do hope you had a good stream and all that good stuff. You also require steel. The smart splitter might be worth considering eventually. Geothermal and all that. So yeah, we can't do anything with all that stuff yet. But yeah, so we get a shout out for Red Hawk Black Sheep. I'd appreciate it. But I hope you had a good stream and all that stuff. So we can make the AI limiters. Which is, well, sorry, the AI limiters. Okay, let's check the AI limiters and what we'd need. This is not the right bench. So I can make 6 of those. And if I make 10, we can get the next thing going. And all I should need in order to, it's iron. All I should need in order to make the copper oh, okay, I see where I got disoriented. Alright. Oh, good. Not a whole lot, just having a good time with all this. Oh, right. That is my rebar refill box. Yeah, so that's iron, that's iron. You are also iron. You are the Caterium. Oh, right, I don't have copper up here. We were shipping Caterium like half across the map because I could make the copper wire at way faster rate with it. Okay. Yeah, so that's the copper wire. Because of that, I'll be able to make the copper sheet. Meanwhile, while we're in the neighborhood, we can go ahead and grab the cement that's down here. Grab just a bit. And I want you to... Did I not apply it? Yeah, I want to tear that apart and do that. But if we get the copper sheet, then we can go and make the smart splitters. We'll end up needing those for a couple things that we can use a bus style. Grizzly found your favorite radio station. Home of nonstop rock. Nice. I haven't listened to a proper radio station in a hot minute. Like, I used to go out of my way to try and find decent ones. And I don't know exactly when, but I kind of just gave up at some point and just switched to, like, what would be, over the years, has been like Pandora, Spotify, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to just manually make the copper sheet real fast. Because then we can make the last 4 AI modules. Read the name of the station. Oh, Sisyphus. I haven't had someone did a Sisyphus joke to me recently. Yep. Yep, Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. I missed the joke. That was just like taking it at face value, being like, "Oh, you found a new radio station." Okay, I mean, I do know people still listen to radio. Yep, I understand. And 10. We can run over here to the map. Oh, I need the reinforced plates, which I should have plenty. Ooh, you maxed out your rotors. Okay. Alright, so it looks like in this case the rotors are catching up. So that's going to go and improve a great deal. So we can run on over here. We're going to grab that chip. Because that's kind of... There's things I can work on right now and things I can't. So one of the things I can work on is trying to get the... Trying to get hard drives unlocked to get more recipes and all that. Alright, so Caterium. Okay, so for nutrients, steel.
Smart Splitter unlocked. The Smart Splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
So hard drive detector takes motors is the problem. Because the crystal oscillators I could probably make. But the motors... Do those take steel? No, actually, you know what? Those might actually not be that bad. Motors. The crystal oscillators are... Quartz crystal. Yeah, so those are not too bad to make. Yeah, alright, so you're playing Kingdom of the Night. I don't know Kingdom of the Night. Oh, we had a good one with that. Yeah, so we don't have motors. There's a good chance that's tech locked on me. Okay. Well, before I forget, let's go get this ship. Because that could be a new blueprint or something else good for us. at a minimum extra inventory spots. There are more hard drives than recipes in the game, last I recall. So if you do get all the hard drives, you can unlock everything. I was expecting a fight up here. Okay. I'm so happy they made it so we could take these apart. It is nice to be like, yep, done here. Alright, you want to give me more steel pipe? I am on board with that. Okay, so let's pull up our map, go here. I'll have to move till we're not quite on it. Can we see any other ships from up here? Nope, not at the moment, that's fine. Alright, that should be far enough away that I can go here and remove the marker. Cool, so we got a hard drive to scan. That can give me more recipes. I did get more steel pipe. If we get enough of that, we can unlock technology that I'm not necessarily supposed to have access to yet. Which is one of the ways to game things to get yourself really well off. Because sometimes you get like the hard drive scanner early, that kind of thing. It ends up just being a huge win for just speed progress. So let's see. That's going to require coal. So quartz. Power slugs are fine. Nutrients. So if I get just a couple more nutrients, I could unlock the next thing there. The pole mark 3 isn't happening anytime soon. This would be the really nice one, is if I can get these things. That's fine. So scan the hard drive. Drop that away. The rest of that can just stay the way it is. Okay. We're just doing a little run around real quick. If I can get a purple slug, that's one thing that'll help me unlock another piece of tech. We can get more hard drives, that's always more tech. So another thing I could also do is start making a skywalkway. That's always... Oh, hey. There you go. Alright, dealt with our unfriendly neighbors. Okay, we got encased steel. A lot of it. But where's the main part of the ship? Oh, is that in the middle over there? Needs 60 watts of power. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. So let's get over to the edge here. Go to power. So you're 30, so boom, boom. Pull, cable, cable, cable. That's fine. I mean, I'm down to put down another one if you want to fight me on it. It doesn't need to power it very long. There we go. And thank you, Pretty Pictures, for the Prime Gaming sub. That's 42 months. You've been subbed to the channel, which is the answer to everything. So thank you so much for that. I'm glad we got that covered. But I appreciate the continued support. It means a whole lot. Is the power line going directly into the water trick? Yep. Okay. We got ourselves another hard drive. Yeah, okay. Where did I hear it? I heard a power slug around here somewhere. Oh, the one I heard is... Oh, no, I might be hearing that. Is that it?
This bleeding temple hums a resident song. Play for us.
Yay! Does the voice not read the messages anymore? And thank you, Jay Walker, for the 40 stream streak. I do appreciate it. Does the voice not read the messages anymore? I mean, I believe it read the answer. I mean, unless I missed it, it should be. It's entirely possible between like a Windows update or something, audio devices got jacked with. Because that happens. But I believe I heard it. Probably another thing to verify after stream is go through like all the TTS and all that. Okay, so I heard the voice. Did you all not hear the voice? But thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. That's 53 months, but sub the channel. I do appreciate it. You did not. Okay, cool. So we know what the problem is. I'm just going to get up on a rock or something so I don't get murdered. Because all that means is the TTS on here. So you're set to the correct input. TTS. You don't have your own sound device. We can go to events, alerts, subs, edit, text to speech. So you're all fine. I think the last time I ran into this, what I ended up doing was mildly cursed. But I'll get this resolved, which is to go to you, go to Firebot in here, and I believe I had to set Firebot itself to be on the audio device. You want a refund? Oh, you didn't pay anything. Yeah, no, it's between, like, every time Windows updates, my audio device gets reset in a bunch of applications. Every time Firebot updates, everything gets reset in just about everything. Every time that, you know, the audio device itself updates. It's one of the incredible frustrations. You're like, look, man, just don't change my devices. We paid with our emotions. Yup. I remember when we used to own our computers. I mean, this isn't even like the computer ownership or whatever, that kind of thing. This is just annoying nonsense with, just software for getting audio devices every time anything does anything. Because it's not even like all applications do that. Like, OBS is notorious for it. Did you hear? Okay, did you hear that? The testing 1 through 3? Please tell me you heard it. If you didn't hear it, there's another possibility. Okay, cool. Cool. I was gonna say, because if that didn't work, that means OBS reset my audio devices, and I'm really good about checking OBS's audio devices before I start stream, because of how many times I've been screwed by OBS changing its audio devices before I start stream. Okay. Missing's a whole scam by Rual to get everyone to test TTS. I need you to not let people know what I'm doing, Burning Sun.
Your waves lap at our shores. When will you hum a simple melody into the effigy, yet we hear no harmony? It covers the temple in bones and organs and limbs, yet ignores our bleeding wounds. Scripture is needed. Consume.
A familiar pattern is emerging in your brain. Please assess yourself for signs of concussion. If necessary, a replacement pioneer will be dispatched. Work must continue. Replacement delivery schedule estimate. Error, years.
Hey, Page of Cakes, thanks you so much for the 100 biddies. And can I get you to send another one just to make sure? It's obviously teasing. Ow, I am catching every one of those with my face. Oh. Excellent. I'm glad you got your money's worth. Thank you again for the biddies, I do appreciate it. Okay, so let's chuck you in the bin. Bunch of rotors. Bunch of other goodies. Pull handle, open door. So we can get that anywhere, so let's chuck those in the bin, because that's steel. I can't actually make steel yet. Okay. Trying to spot if there's any other goodies in the ground. Because we got a lot of good materials out there. Alright, so let's get back home. We did finish scanning the one hard drive. I think I got 3 more hard drives here. We should probably grab... The barrel nuts are usually ones I don't care about as much. Okay. That looks like I've got a sulfur node over there. Yeah, so we run back now. Just jumping off cliffs while cramming nuts in your mouth. Yep, that's how you do it. Looks like there's a ramp over there we could take up with a slug somewhere on the way up. Okay. But yeah, no, that's one of the things that we're going to be trying to grab all these hard drives and whatnot. Because they are producing the parts, and I do want to scale it up more. Hey, lizard doggo. Hey, no, 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 buddy, 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 buddy. Oh, go away. We're gonna run on over here. I got a bunch of stuff to chuck out of my inventory. We got a bunch of materials that I might be able to do some pretty cool stuff on the map, like those industrial sealed things, the steel beams. Those are some late game materials. Not super duper late game, but still relatively late game materials. So bring these back over. Oh, we can drop you in there. Let's pop over here to the power slugs. And process you. Process our various critters here. I can press them all. So that means I can go to your box. Shove you all in there. Shove the leaves in here. Shove the wood in there. Okay. Alright, so we have bolted iron plate, and we have fused quick wire. Probably that one. Okay. Got weirdly stuck in that. So we don't need that. I do have enough we could get the SAM fluctuator. It's very unlikely I'll be able to get the dimensional storage going, but worth considering. Don't care about any of this crap yet. The nutrients. I can get the nutrient processor unlocked. We didn't get that. I don't think I really care about that right now. The motors we don't have, so that's the whole thing. The sulfur... Oh, you're just waiting on coal and sulfur? It's actually not that hard to make happen. I probably have what I need for that right here. Let's grab this just because we can. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough material for that. We can make that happen really easily. Because I got that directly below my base. Because of this, I'm 3 sulfur short. It's fine. You love the soul tree, Torque voice. Explosions? Yeah. So what we can do is temporarily we'll just scan that. And we go over here, and I believe I've got a area right here that's got this. I could probably set up a drill on this, like a proper drill. And just have it turning them into the next material. But if you can get the dimensional storage nice and early, that would be amazing, being able to just build from the dimensional storage, because then I can shunt any and all materials to always go into the dimensional storage first until it's full. Yeah, no, we've had a lot of luck with the SAM material and all that, that it's just very local for us. We've also got some other stuff. Uranium we found one not too far away, but also not in a great place. Okay. So we can go here, and it was you. We'll add that to, well, yep, we can get that going. Alright, so meanwhile, if I can get 3 more sulfur, then we can get that objective done. And I don't have the ability to do coal yet, right? No. Alright, so let's go over here. I only need a little bit more sulfur. And with that we can unlock even more tech. It's already more than I needed. I won't complain about finding a slug immediately. There's another slug down there. I remember watching Tim play this, and he had his whole thing where he was keeping a like almost a terrarium of these slugs. Is that a cave down there? I just spotted the mushrooms. Where? Okay. Cool, finally found a sloop.
The Summer Sloop was named after Marie Somerville, co-founder of Fixit and head of its R&D department. There are many theories about the origin of this shape and why this symbol mathematically resembling a Mobius strip has found its way to both human and extraterrestrial culture. Thankfully, you don't need to know any of these theories to be a pioneer. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application. Fun fact: The planet you are on was found and named during a planet spotting event Marie hosted named Marie's Awesome Scientific Search of the Avant-Garde Exoplanets.
Cool. So we found our first somber sloop. I believe that'll give me the ability to scan for them going forward, which means it gives us what we need to like slowly work the map and be like, all right, we got all the area things from this area and whatnot. Okay. So we can hop over here, drop off the green stuff. The one thing I've been putting off that I don't want to put off anymore let's go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an area here. So when it comes like the biomass kind of stuff, I want to be able to just have a dump box. I could just chuck it in. And it'll split off and be like, okay, if you're this material, go here, this material, go there. Alright, because you take the alien protein. The alien protein we can get from just processing all the different critter stuff in there, which will be 4 constructors. Alright. Okay, so give myself more air to work. Before we get caught up in that, I don't think we have the smart splitter, which is what I'll need. That would be under Caterium. Oh no, I did get the smart splitter. Okay, so what do I need for a smart splitter? I believe it's the AI, whatever the crap it's called. Yeah, an AI limiter. And the AI limiter, I believe, just requires a copper sheet. And then the Caterium wire. The Caterium wire should be down here somewhere. I think that's iron. Oh no, Caterium was over there? Hi.
Are you the cutest puppy of all time?
That doesn't sound right.
Did you see my artistic impression of the kids getting in the car in the morning?
I did not.
Rafiki is April.
Yep. Just taking the kids. Get in the car. It was just a gift of Rafiki taking Simba, like where they have the scene where they hold Simba up at the beginning of the Lion King, but instead just like it just says yeet and just throws Simba into the abyss. I think this is where the Caterium wire. And thank you, Nate, for the 75 stream streak. I do appreciate it. All right, let's grab 2 stacks of the Caterium wire and get back over here. Someday we'll pave over all of this. Okay. It's only a matter of time before we pave over paradise. Oh, right. I just remember that you can get explosive rebar, and it doesn't fully eliminate the need for the explosive canisters that you can throw and then like detonate, but it does get rid of a lot of the need for it. I forgot how useful that was for just going around and exploding blocks and everything. And then, you know, causing a lot of unintended self-harm. You're probably about done. Yep, 20 seconds. So then we can start researching a bunch of these other random things. And keep things moving. Yeah, we got 78 sealed industrial steel. So that should be allowing us to do a lot of stuff later on too. Okay, so we can get the bolted or iron wire. Both of these are kind of crap. I'm going to go ahead and rescan it. Copper rotor. Or fine concrete. I believe with the fine concrete, if I remember correctly, that's just higher throughput than normal concrete. I don't imagine we would do this one, because it's replacing the, let's see, so it's 52 screws for 11.25, for 11.25 rotors. We look at the rotor recipe here. I mean, if my math is right, that is a way better ratio. So, okay. Hold up. That might be a way, way, way better ratio. Because that's 52 screws. Oh, that's for 3 rotors. Never mind. It's still a better ratio, because the other one we were doing was 25 per rotor. This would be getting effectively just shy of an extra rotor for the same amount of screws. So that definitely feels like the play there. We'll end up needing to put work into making that happen. So we can get this done.
SAM fluctuator recipe unlocked. The fluctuator can mimic unique communication through patterns of electric frequencies to instruct reanimated SAM to perform specific tasks or give specific restrictions, such as matter to energy conversion. It can also function as matter memory, reading the exact composition and state of a collection of matter in one location, breaking it down, and near instantly reconstructing it in another location, which has incredible potential for smart storage.
Your threads shift solid to fluid into a tapestry. Matter, 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 and mind and melody.
Okay. Yeah, so the alien technology. Yeah, so I would need more steel tubes, unfortunately, to get either of those things, but that's fine. We can get the somber sloop done.
Summer sloop analysis completed. Summer sloops are somewhere between battery and conduit, harvesting energy from pockets of space with complete disregard for the rules of the space-time continuum, and distributing it into its connected ecosystem. This energy,
Let the effigies harvest until the waves reach our shores. Consume.
similarities to the hypothetical force of dark energy to potentially be one and the same. It can now be tracked by the object scanner.
Okay. Now I could also get the explosive powder. So we can get that knocked out.
Research completed. Black powder recipe unlocked. New sulfur research available.
Okay, and scan the hard drive. Oh, right. There's other things we can do. We can drop you in there, drop you in here. We can craft these real fast to get them done. I just remembered I should not be using the slugs. It's fine that we've used the slugs so far, but what'll end up happening is if we wait till later, some of the... because slugs are effectively a limited resource, Oh no, I think you can artificially make shards later. Never mind. But some of these things you craft, if you wait till you have these somber sloops, you can use them to effectively give yourself a bunch of extras of things. And it can be very much worth waiting to do that. Alright, so let's see here. We've got that going. So we did get a recipe that would effectively take out the need for the rods entirely for all of this. And it would give me one extra rotor. As I look at this, realizing I don't need the extra rotor at all. Okay, so you're running at 100%, 100%, 94%, 94%. Okay, so our bottleneck has changed. Our bottleneck is over here with you. And those are all backed up, which means this should be an easy one to make happen. So I can grab you. This is going to be great. I can see it. Okay. I can go here to put a murder block. Well, that's snug. Alright. And that means we got even more of this coming in. Huh. Guess it is moving at the speed it can handle. Alright, so all those are now playing catch up. I kind of boost it up a little bit by just going here and saying, alright, you're full. You're full. You're full. Okay, so that means I'll have a chance to catch up. And we restack them, so we've increased our throughput here again. Because the fallback was here, so we can go drop a stack in here. Drop a stack in there. The rest of those are fine. Okay. So that should improve the rate we're making our smart plates that much more. So I'd gone in here with the intention of getting the rotors sorted out, but the rotors are already in good shape. It's a matter of the smart plates now. And these were still running at 94 and 95% efficiency, so they were pretty close to being able to handle it all. So I'm going to go ahead and put another thing for producing smart plates here. Alright. Okay. So you need power, and you need to be connected here. Well, crap. Someday I'll have the, have what I need to get back up there. And also someday, maybe all the grass could die, as it's all completely underneath an area where it would never see sunlight, and therefore not have photosynthesis happening. It'll be wild when we hit, like, the complete Phase 1 thing, and then just suddenly everything starts going very rapidly. It's only the space elevator phase that's slow. The individual, like, unlock oil, unlock this, those are normal. So scaling up the factory as much as I have to. Okay, we can take you way over here. Okay, so you got that. Let's check to see what our power grid's doing as far as handling, because we're still using biomass fuel. 404, 420 is the max you can handle, so I probably need to expand our biomass consumption even more. I think we're to the point of doing this. Okay. Even more biomass. We're gonna pretty soon reach the point that I'm gonna be consuming the biomass faster than this can produce, and I'll need to scale that up. Which is, not ideal. Okay, you've got 1 minute and 40 seconds here. Oh, we can also drop off the industrial steel. And you... Cool. We'll drop off the Mercer spheres as well. So to get the ability to scan for the hard drives, that's motors, right? And I can't make those yet. I'm pretty sure once we finish Phase 1, that becomes a thing. Meanwhile, we could go over to our box here. That's for our rebar. There we go. And what else do we change with that? The zip line does us no good with what we're doing. I'll grab you, because that's what I'd rather use up. Okay, so just need to give this like 20 more seconds to process, and then once that's processed for that gives us our next hard drive to see what we got for recipes. Okay. Cheap silica bolted frames. That seems like it'd be a very expensive frame. Versus the cheap silica, I believe, is one of the better recipes for later on for dealing with the silica, which is usually not that big of a... That's fine. It's whatever. Just grab what we can. So, the other thing we can do right now is I could potentially make a sky road to get around So that way later on we're trying to go long distances. Life's just easy breezy. So let's look here. We can go to foundations, big ol' ramp. To the moon! Okay. The plan right now is I'm just trying to get this way up high. Partially so we can get a good vantage point. And then we can have the sky road to take us wherever we need to go. And also because I have copious amounts of concrete that I have no need for. Okay, are we the highest thing out here? Not quite. That's a little higher than we are. Yeah, so that might be a little higher, that might be a little higher, and that might be a little higher. But I want to say one of those two out there in the normal one was where you had like uranium on the top of one of the hills. And I want to say you could barely go over that. You could barely go over that before you'd start taking damage from working your way out of the world map. Okay. It's the iron ingots. That's iron rods. And the iron plates are here. So grab a bunch of those. Cool. But yeah, that means down the road what we could do is get ourselves up to this height and just send it with like whatever vehicles we decide to use or vacuum pipes or whatever. And it's going to be really hard to use meaningfully until I've got, like, some form of another parachute or jetpack. But honestly, we're not much higher than wherever the pink trees over there on the right are. Like, that's fine. So I could just use this as a way to get up to that cliff for exploration later. Because it used to be in the game where you'd find a lot of your late game materials, you have to go up onto these ridges and all that and down in the swamp. It was really hard to get to inhospitable places. With randomization, that's not really needed. I kind of made the stance the last time that, for me, I actually would say the randomization makes the game easier. Because sure, you don't get the reliable, like, oh, there's 3 iron nodes next to each other over there, so that's a lot of iron. So, like, the efficiency there is a little trickier to make work. Ultimately, resources that you used to have to, like, get the explosives to deal with those poison tower enemies that, you know, cover the area, and then you have to go past the more dangerous enemies and whatnot. You can just ignore all of it. All you need is a coal node in the right spot to slingshot things? Yeah. Okay. Got plenty of supplies, so I'm just kind of going with it. Because like I said, this gives me a nice easy way to kind of get way up here. Where like normally all those green gas areas would be completely off limits to me. That's fine. We can bypass the worst of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and... What? Ah, the things have to explode to get rid of them. Why does it seem like you keep getting closer, man? Okay. I want the purple slug, because when I get that, that's another recipe I can get sorted. Go. Okay. And back to what we were doing before we stopped for the purple slug. Honestly, the fact that I'm able to just go over here is... It's always a fun thing when you can just, like, bypass so much of the map and just be like, yeah, it's fine. Okay. And I'll take the somber sloop. The one place you bypass is the Swamp of Sadness and Horrors. Yeah, the swamp could get properly nasty. That's where we did our aluminum on one of our runs as we went to the swamp, which was fine. There's all like the big spiders there, and there's just poison things everywhere. It just took a while to like get it all sorted out. Is there anything up here while we're this far up? Oh, I think this is where we had our, not our nuclear the one run. This is like the end game area I did for one of my runs that I built up, like I used all the water here. I think this is where we were processing, maybe is our aluminum on one run? I think it was where we were doing our aluminum. We had one run I did the aluminum in the swamp because that's where the box it was. And I think the other one I just shipped it up here because I had all this water available to make my life easy. But as you can see, I got this giant road I'm kind of putting over the top here. We can get ourselves ways up and down on here relatively easy. Like from up here, we can kind of peek down. You can be able to see a bunch of the shipwrecks. Like I saw there was one by those lakes. There's a Mercer sphere over there. Bunch of ore down there. But yeah, it's out around here as there's a shipwreck. Concern is if I jump down there going for the shipwreck, will I be able to find my way back up here? Because we are up here pretty high. Yeah, there's a shipwreck. If I jump down there, I'm going to miss the jump because of the waterfall. Okay. You got the big poison towers. Which end up being a bit of a barrier for you moving around the map until you get explosives. Don't care about that nonsense. Okay. So now's where I made things complicated for myself. Because it'll be much harder to go back the way I came without building up over it. Day 2 and still on phase 1? Look at the cost of it.
Our blood could fill the effigy veins for a resonance song. Scripture becomes harmony, becomes composition. Defile our temple and the threads will sew the windows open.
Pattern analysis continuing. New instruction. Repeat Pioneer exposure to alien artifacts. Brain damage compensation packages may be available on successful completion of a special claims form. Our expert Fix-It medical staff are impartial and always open to assess your claim.
Oh, hey, buddy. I was like, that sound didn't come from the right direction. Yeah, no, I gotcha. It's just one of those things, it's like, yep, it's going, like, it'll get done. Right now, I'm kind of exploring for, hard drives and other goodies. Oh, hey, I forgot you were a thing in the game. We got our beats. I've already completely lost track of where my skywalk way was. Because jumping down to go and check on that ship that was by the double lakes. I don't feel like dealing with that. Yeah, and that's when it'll blow up the stuff in the middle. Yeah, so this is the way to the double lakes. Is this satisfactory? Nah. No, obviously it's satisfactory. Okay, so shipwreck should be around here somewhere. Hey, lizard doggo, I'd give you stuff, but there's no way I'm ever getting you home. So where was that shipwreck we spotted from? There you are. So we spotted you from above. You want to stay stuck in that? Because I'm down to keep shooting. You need 120 power. I can probably do that. We'll just go to power, biomass, 1. That's 30, 60, 90, 120, and 1 extra to deal with the spike and load. Apparently, I need a little bit of cement. So we will need to find that. We can go. $230 is not that far away. Please do not be at the bottom of the cliff. I was hoping it de-aggroed. Okay. Just smacking a hog on the way by. That's what you do. The higher phases are going to be taking weeks. Yeah, I mean, realistically, with all the games releasing and all that, we probably will not see this run through the end. But I mean, I've already done like 3 full playthroughs on the stream. As part of the reason I went with the challenge is to force me to expand my factory early on, because the last playthrough we did, I think we only used like this much of the map, and the map is actually pretty remarkably large, but it's just one of those things you just really don't need to touch the vast majority of it. But by increasing the cost of everything, when you get to like the milestone phases, it is just going, okay, but more factory, but more factory, but more factory, but more factory kind of thing. You're already back? Come on, man. Okay, and we can go here to make the concrete, so I can put down my power pole. Yeah, so we got the purple slug I needed for research. We got some somber sloops, which will be useful for stuff eventually. Okay. And hard drive get. See some stators and all that. Rotor, industrial, some steel, the bars, stators, copper. Okay, well, we're on the other side of all eternity. And I've got a long way to go to get home. I was hoping I could sneak it away. I don't care that much. It was just if I happened to be able to, like, snag it without them getting to hit in, I would have done it. Okay. I did see her stuff up here. Alright. I believe there's a couple hard drives down here. Unless you're that one guy you don't want to say another person's name, it seems. Then you need the whole map. No, you won't need the whole map for the 100 times. Like, the 100 times, ultimately, at the absolute worst case scenario, takes 100 times longer. But, realistically, you will start to accelerate stuff more and more, and it won't be as big a deal. I could have sworn there was, well... No. Okay. Almost killed myself by falling to critical amounts of life. And then falling again. And I do believe there were hard drives in some of the areas up here. What I'm probably going to do, though, is once I check this area real quickly, we're going to start moving our way towards home. And then just using the fact that we haven't been through any of this map to try and spot stuff. I don't have what I need to scan for hard drives yet, because we don't have the ability to make steel yet, and a lot of that's locked behind that kind of stuff. Okay. There's a hard drive over there. I'm wrong, it's a Mercer sphere on a rock that made me think it was a shipwreck. Is that 2 Mercer spheres? No, it's like a busted one or whatever.
Harvest the scripture. Compose it into a blood song.
Is he done?
Defile the scripture. We watch the waves of the effigies in the shallows passing through the windows, and they're all the same. There is no resonance growth. Sing.
I just called the Fix-It doctors. They told me there is definitely no danger from repeat exposure to these signals. In fact, they said it is good for you. I apologize, but the call dropped suddenly, otherwise they would have told you themselves. The good news is you should run towards these strange and dangerous looking objects whenever you find them. Doctor's orders.
Wait, is there another one that I missed? Okay. We're officially at the point of inventory full. So let's chuck you in the trash. Sort. I'm gonna try and stand right where I am to pull all these up so that... Okay. So it's gonna drop the debris. So we definitely want this. So I'm just gonna get rid of the plain old plates because I can get those easily. Okay, so home is south. If we keep going east, it'll take me to shore. I believe there is another wreck on a ridge or something around here, if I remember correctly. Oh, jeez, getting jump scared from him silently running up on me. I had a plan. It's like instead of roaring and running at you, just be like, no, I'm gonna be dead silent and make my move. Yeah, I want to say it's like one of these areas here where it makes like a little bit of a ridge that's on top of the ridge. But it's like a little dip like you got here, just enough that you can't see it from down below. Not super fussed if we miss it, just figure I'm standing over here and gonna take a quick little peek. Because this is one of the start areas in the map. Probably the longest I spent on a factory was on this one during the early access. Okay. Oh, merger sphere up there. More ore. Yeah, and it was down this way on the default map. Past here is like the place to get oil. It won't be because we're doing random spawn on our ores. But it's like past all this, you'll see some sandbars, and they would have oil everywhere on them. There was like a good 5 or 6 oil nodes pretty close together and surrounded by water. So it's just like so many people would end up building their whole like oil production chain down this area. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It was just like you just go oil, turbo fuel, all that stuff. You just end up making it here. It's just too convenient a place in the map to not to do it. Yeah, like where that limestone is, that was oil. Where the steam was oil. Okay. Ooh, you hit me real hard. Cool. Well, that was a mess, but I got it. Really, man? We just did this dance. Okay, got more of you. Alright, computers are hard to come by for now. Would you give it a rest? Where are you all coming from? The good news, we got plastic plates. I'm not supposed to be able to get those for a while. Same with the computers. Computers, packaged fuel, junk I don't care about, plastic, industrial steel, rubber. Alright, get the wood out of here, get the concrete out of here. Okay, and we can go ahead and delete those. That's in our hard drive. I've been playing for 2 hours. I should take a break. Nah, man. Yeah, so it's gonna take me a while to get back there, but that's kind of what I did, is I took that long walkway I made across the top there. And just had the plan of taking that out. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Seeing what we could see, choosing a spot to hop off, and running back, because we got our factory producing the smart plates at a pretty good rate now. And we're going to build it up more. But while we waited for things to settle, I wanted to snag some more hard drives, more supplies, all that kind of stuff. Get ourselves more inventory space, all that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there should be another hard drive up on the shore somewhere here. I think it's farther to the south. Okay. You can only build one MAM? No, you can build multiple. I could chuck a MAM down here, put a hard drive in it, hit scan, and then delete the MAM. And it'll just, by magic of the game, work out alright. Unless they've changed it, which I don't see a reason for them to change that. Okay, and there's the giant tower. I think we've already been over here, but I don't believe we checked it carefully. Grab myself another Mercer Sphere while we're in the neighborhood. It's actually a tactic to keep dropping and packing the MAM as you explore for hard drives.
But does not notice the shore. Is our melody not beautiful?
Detecting abnormal brainwave activity again. Activating artificial brainwave resonator.
Your shallow song has no rhythm. The Ripper erodes our temples without prayers and washes away our scripture without deepening. Consume.
I believe this is one of those moments where the scientist would yell, "Eureka!" But that seems entirely too dramatic. It seems they are somehow organically emulating human speech. Fascinating. Continue exposing yourself to alien artifacts.
Okay. Yep, and with this, we're just back home territory. You can tell by the complete and utter devoid of life, ground from our biomass collection. Okay, so we don't have any wood or greens. We'll have to go through all this. Alright, so let's run over to the MAM. And before we get into all that, so these won't have anything we care about yet. We can potentially get some of this going over here, which will be interesting, considering we don't have access to 90% of the stuff it needs. We can go ahead and knock you out real fast.
Research completed. Purple power slugs seem to be near the end of their life cycle and have a significant amount of potential energy stored. It is a good thing Fix-It does not waste. Purple power slugs can now be processed into power shards.
Okay. So, what we can quickly do here is let's grab the rest of the pipe I've got over here. I'll grab all of that, I guess. No, I won't. My inventory's full. Take the slug. Take the other slug. Grab those. Drop off the mushroom. Sort. Drop off the somber sloop. So alien technology. So if we make 11 of those, I think that's a respawn point. Let's see, why is there a power shard on the bottom of the skill tree? You can find slugs and make them. We can find slugs and make them. Oh, on the bottom, it's where you can craft them without requiring a slug. It's an alternate recipe. So if we get 11 of the dimensional material here, which I can afford 3. We can potentially get the dimensional storage. So let's go ahead and I'll start the first hard drive scanning. And we can drop you off for now. Yeah, I'd like to get the pocket storage. We'll see if we can't pull it off. Okay, so I got tons of the industrial case stuff. We've got you as well, and them, and the stators, and the fuel and the rubber I can't use yet. The computers, the silica. We can go over here. And get all this going to turn that into biomass for us. Which, as I mentioned, I really do need to get the smart splitter set up so we can just have the one box. I just grab all organic matter, just chuck it in the box, and it'll split itself off where it needs to go. Because I use that as a means of just deleting that, but it's fine. Okay, so we can run over here. Okay, so production. Miner Mark 1, I need concrete, let's make that happen. Because I figure at this point with the SAM, if we're doing that, let's get that going. Because if I can get those dimensional boxes going, that'll be a big one for just being able to chuck, like we'll have it where we can just chuck whatever materials into them. And then I can craft from anywhere using them. Okay. I don't need a whole setup here. I'm literally just going to grab the SAM, turn it to activated, and that way I can just grab the stacks of the activated. Because until we get the complete phase 1 done and where I can make steel, once I can make steel, then we can actually get dimensional storages. And then it'll become kind of this thing of going, okay, make my first material, dimensional storage it. When dimensional storage stops accepting anything else, put it into the production line, and we can just repeat that everywhere we go. I'm pretty sure you need a constructor. There you go, organize. Okay. What's a 100 elevator cost? If you look at here where it says complete phase 1, normally that's 50 smart plates. When we do this. So all of this you see here is completing phase 1. This whole big factory we've got set up. This is just to do phase 1. Yep. Can we get a shout out for How to Be Quiet, by the way? Another fantastic content creator, friend of the channel, all that good stuff. Has also played a lot of Satisfactory over the years. Someone I highly recommend checking out. Fun times over there. Okay, so this is good news. all of you are running at 100% capacity. I know they added player elevator. I was perplexed. Player elevator. I'm unaware of this one. But yeah, let's check it out. It'll be quiet. Oh, you're also playing the Void Mountain. That's one that I've debated playing as well. A lot of people I know have done that. Okay, so get this all going. Okay, we can go here. Clean all this up. Boiling, we take your Pokemon's brain. Yeah, no, that was we're doing Hunt Call of the Wild later for a sponsored segment, and you know, people understandably get a little bit weird about hunting games, even though, you know, it's still just a game, so whatever. And you know, we play like RimWorld and all that, and it's like, you know what? The genetically altering a creature and then taking over its brain, pretty effed up, actually. It looks good, though. It looks really good. Alright, so I don't imagine we actually have the throughput to support those two, but I figured let's just go ahead and slam it on here and see how it's at. Let's see, just about 200 hours and you're absolutely addicted. Oh yeah, no, of this game? Yeah. Alright, we're at 480 is our capacity, so we have plenty of room to spare. Okay, let's check on the MAM here. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We can go craft by hand real fast some of the reanimated SAM. So we can make more of the fluctuated stuff. Okay, so I need more reanimated SAM. So we can get our storage all set up. Just like that, that's 91. Okay, well, since we have that, let's go ahead and chuck you in here. So I don't need to carry that with me anymore. But yeah, now dimensional storage is one of the best quality of life things they added to the game, was the ability to like just shunt things into this dimensional storage and then craft directly from your dimensional storage. Was such a wonderful addition. Like, after they added it and I got to use it a couple of times, it was definitely like every run after that, it was like, okay, what's the fastest I can get to using the dimensional storage? Well, we're doing that now. Alright, so we got 2 minutes left in that, and then I've got the materials set up for doing the next thing. So the alien technology, and then there's things down here for getting access to a bunch of other stuff that is, if I recall correctly, is just copious amounts of Mercer spheres. I think it increases the volume of the dimensional storage or something like that. Yeah, so it'll be one of those things that what we'll probably want to do. Mercer sphere, none nearby. Somber sloop, none nearby. And we can't check for hard drive yet. And then for the hard drive detection, was that alien technology? Which one was you? That was Caterium. Oh no, it's quartz. Right, we need the motors. Those are after phase 1. I've actually got, I think, 50 of them or so that we found doing hard drive grabbing. Oh no, I'm wrong. Not 15. 16. Or not 50, 16. So we're nowhere close. But if I find enough of those, where we can get the hard drive detection, that's a big thing to just be able to run around and grab those. Alright, so we got 2 more hard drives after this one. But yeah, because then it can be a thing that when we're scaling stuff up and letting it run from time to time, we just run around and grab hard drives and grab, you know, Mercer spheres and Somber sloops, because those will help a lot. The big thing is I have to be careful about scaling up my factory too much until we have coal power, because while we're working just fine on the biofuel, we're going to start running into problems where I, the player, am the biggest bottleneck. I can only collect biofuel so fast. And if we get to a point we start exceeding the rate that I can feed it in, we kind of hit a hard limit. Okay. So, bolted plates and cheap silica, fine concrete, and iron wire. Yeah, so we're getting a bunch of the early game ones that we probably don't care about. Alien technology. There you are. Start research.
Dimensional depot unlocked. SAM can be utilized to deconstruct matter down to its chemical elements in one dimension, and the Mercer sphere allows it to be transferred and stored in another. Once parts are fed into the dimensional depot, they can be accessed by the Pioneer inventory and build gun system at any time, anywhere.
We see through the window. It is pathetic. Consume more blood. The glass will not shatter. The metal will not bend. The wood will not splinter. We...
Okay. So it wants me to get 29 of those, some Mercer spheres in the computer, and I believe that's the manual depot uploader. I think that's the one that adds it down here, where I can have it where I don't even need the, stuff here. Because I believe if I use that one, I could literally just feed stuff from my inventory into it. And then these are the ones that would add that. And the catch with those things, let's check out what it requires to make those. Yeah, so that's going to be a bunch of steel pipes that it can't make. So we want to wait on doing those. Let's save up for the manual one. Yeah, so we want to get that. So for right now, let's go ahead and pop in the next hard drive. And let's stash the rest of the ones for right now. Oh, I have a mountain of Mercer spheres. Okay, so what else was I missing? Uh, 29 of those. We probably can't pull it off, but I'm gonna try. Because if I can get 29 of those, I can do that immediately. And then, like I said, it becomes this whole thing that basically anytime I need, I can kind of put stuff in and yoink it back out of dimensional storage. And then the idea would be, as I get extra Mercer spheres from there, I would start, you know, going to different places in the factory and have, like, the metal plates. There would be a dimensional storage there. Go to our, you know, rods. There's dimensional storage there, like that kind of thing. I've already forgotten how many of these I needed. Alien technology. 29. Okay, so with that, what I'd be able to do is alien technology, because you increase the upload speed and you increase the stacks I can carry. Neither of those do I see as particularly urgent. This one would be the good one. But the idea is, as I got more supplies, you'd want to go down here and get all those upgrades as well. But it's kind of like only as you don't need them for our thing. So I already have computers in here. Ooh, is 12 enough? Come on, be enough. Don't make me wait. I want my instant gratification. Ah, you suck. I have 12 and I need 17. Alright, so Mercer Spheres in the box, computers in the box, that in the box. Honestly, for right now, that into the... it's fine. It can just stay there. The iron pipes, or steel pipes, cannot go into the box because the box is full. The rest is probably fine. And how much longer? So you got 6 more minutes. So let's go see how the 2 additional assemblers at the end there are working out, because that more than likely exceeded the throughput of what this can handle. So what we could do is check this last one on the end here and see what percentage it's at. 33%, and it's reinforced plates. That's the bottleneck. So we got our reinforced plates going here. You're at 100%. %. That does make sense. I forgot to hook it up. 100%. Okay, so that should start getting that in business. Okay, so that's a merge block that's going to go over here. Which is not exactly what we're aiming for. Wait, is that a merge or that's a split? That's a merge. Honestly, in this case, I could probably replace you with a splitter. I don't think I can just put one right over top of each other. Not in the way I want. Okay, I can make that into a splitter and feed it that way. Then meanwhile, we can do the curse thing of just running this through other buildings and pretending it's okay. Oh, it's playing catch-up. You need more throughput. You need more throughput. Forgot how far back this whole setup was. Okay, so that should speed up those conveyor belts to feed it into everything. Alright. So the challenge here is you need to be switched over to a splitter. What I could probably do here to make this not cursed is get rid of all of that. Realize I'm making this look incredibly upsetting. We can go here to your stacking. Get you to line up about there. Actually not what I need. Okay, if I put that there, can I put the splitter on top of that? Okay, it needs to be farther out. Yeah, so definitely broke everything. That's upsetting to me, and we're just gonna all have to pretend it's fine. And those who don't want to pretend it's fine, that's fine, but you know, it's not gonna change anything. Aw, don't be that way. But yeah, so this whole thing is gonna end up getting pulled up and changed a dozen times over. Okay, so that's all hooked up. Okay, so we got this side. Honestly, these are probably getting close to the point we might run into issues with the belt throughput not too long. Okay, so there's the rotors. We just added 2 more things for making the reinforced plates. We're now officially hitting the point that the copper stuff needs to be dealt with. Alright, so let's grab you. Grab you because it's deeply upsetting for me. Grab you. Grab constructors. There. Does it matter? No. Did I do it anyways? Yes. Okay, because at least with that, it's going to be better. So we can drop you in there. That's fine. All the rest of this is fine. I've got more copper wire on me than I probably should, so we'll pop over here and drop a stack in there. And I'll improve that. Likely we're going to start running into the limit on, Ooh, hang on. Okay, we're starting to run into limits on the throughput of her belts on the smelting side. Okay, so you get the same kind of recipes showing up again and again. They got the bolted iron plate and the alternate iron wire. I don't imagine we'll want that, but that's okay. So alien technology, we can't afford it, that's right. We can chuck our hard drive in there. That clears up inventory space. Okay. So, we have been exploring up this way. It looks like I haven't bothered exploring at all to the east. Oh, let's also grab ourselves some extra rebar. Okay. Yeah, so we go east from here towards that arch. We have not explored this way hardly at all. Okay, we got a Mercer sphere over here.
Our instruments echo in the deep. Do they not pluck the shallow threads?
Can you hear me?
Crescendo, the effigy found the key. Sing more.
I was not created for artistic purposes. I am incapable of singing.
You sing.
Noted.
Okay. And just going from one thing to the next now because I have the ability to do so. I probably should have just made the ramp and called it a day. I thought it was stuck. I was trying to hop over and just went for it. If we just made the ramp, we would have already been done. That's honestly one of the things with like the various hidden stuff on the map, is that a lot of times you could just slap down some ramps and you're good. Okay. And another. Now, one downside is I don't have my extra inventory spots to be able to change equipment, so it's a whole process here. Don't really care about the power slugs too much, but they do have a tendency to lead you to other areas to explore, areas you haven't been if you clear out this. And since they can't detect hard drives, so I'm actually not going to bother with them. Oh, we got a somber sloop. That's the only thing you really buy ladders for, is just gang sloops and spheres. Yeah, just going by hint. There's a wall I can destroy there. My guess is that goes into a cave system down below where we find the somber sloop. The Mercer Sphere is probably going to be all the way up there, isn't it? Oh, wait, okay, 1 second. Don't fall, there's going to be poison down here. I see them supposed to jump up here, but I'm hitting my head. Sometimes you get lucky with those and just wedge yourself up against it and grab it through the terrain. There's a merger sphere up there. What I really want is hard drives. Until I have steel, it's going to be hard to take advantage of a lot of that stuff. Okay. Because we're doing that because we're at about halfway through getting the whole thing done. We just scaled it up twice more. Okay, for right now, where... Oh, I already have it on. Okay. So for right now, let's just, not worry about the scanning thing. We're mostly looking for the... hard drives. If we get chances to snag Mercer Spheres and Somber Sloops and yada yada, I'll grab them, obviously. Yeah, that's just going to be a slug up there. That's fine. Okay. So we're getting to that forest area again. Yes, it's a lot of times these ledges like this one I'm running around right now that are ones to keep an eye on. They do like to take a lot of the wrecked ships and just have like a plateau up there and just sit on the top of the plateau. Not seeing anything there though. Whereas there was an ore node. It's fine. Fine. Okay, so it's just going down. Ah. So it would break through here. There's goodies on the other side. But we don't have explosions. One thing we can do real fast is... Oh, I'm one reinforced plate short. I was gonna say, pop down the MAM real fast. See what blueprints we got. Wait, what are you? Oh, box it. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing the path over there breaks through, and then where you break through is probably like where the I don't remember if that's where the swamp was. But imagine it's one of the areas where you'd be able to get higher level materials, or that, you know, I'm at the higher level material area and they'd go back, but because we have the random, that doesn't really work the same way anymore. Go away, whatever you are. Okay. Another ledge up here. Okay, big area over there. Alright, let's grab all the goodies here. I actually was figuring I'd find more up here, but that's okay. I'm not seeing any signs of ships or anything down there. It's also tricky. Oh, you. That's fine. It's also tricky because of the number of times they will put stuff like this poison stuff in the way, and then put a ship just on the other side of it. Now looking there, it does look like there's a bunch of the breakable boulders over there in the middle of that poison that contain what looks like a slug. That's a huge area. Getting caught up so I can't slide. And while it's busy at the wrong angle, I'm just gonna grab it and go. Okay, and that's an area we'd be able to punch through, probably a whole cave system back there. I'm just trying to get as high as we can to look down on these ledges to see if we see any of the ships on top of them. Hi, big guy. I immediately regret coming up here. Unsatisfactory, yes. Going up on that ledge with all that crap was quite unsatisfactory. I did manage to kill like 3 of them just firing wildly, but the big one I did not kill. Heard something while I was up here. That's fine. But overall, the point is we don't see a ship. I think quite that exciting. That's okay. We already know there's a cave system underneath there of some capacity. But I need explosives to get into it. Well, there's the Mercer Sphere over there. Okay.
Your waves lap at our shores. When will you land? Your mimic tapestry grows in the shallows and the clouds, but not through the windows. What is your route?
I have no roots, nor do I operate on windows. But perhaps you mean something akin to the human saying, "My point of origin is Earth. I was created by specific individuals of the human race."
Incompatible music.
Did I say something wrong, or did you not understand?
You cannot be shallow deep. The ripples you cast into the void have no skin.
It seems I may have said something paradoxical. Interesting.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Because we got a hard drive over here to scoop up. Give me them motors. Oh, you need rubber. That is inconvenient. Okay. We can add a marker right here. Oh, select icon. I don't know. Sure. Select. And rubber. Apply. Oh, hey. So we've got plastic over here. Yoink. Would you back off? Okay. So I'm trying to swipe all the goodies laying down the ground. just in case we get something useful in our location. Alright, so we did find that. That's fine. Seems like a good way to get stuck. Ow, stop it. I did see the somber sloop. Ow, ow. Just trying to kill him. And then I can crouch and deal with those things. Oh, did I aggro them from way all the way back here? Okay, and there's the somber sloop. I probably want to circle back to expand on our operation back home again here in a minute. Because I'm trying to remember, I think it might even be that a lot of recipes are only available on the hard drives once you've up-teched enough. I'd say we're 100% getting attacked. Okay, let's eat real fast. There we go. And grab ourselves another somber soup. So we're getting a lot of the really big spider things. But as far as dangers go in the game, are probably the most dangerous enemies. You got like the radioactive rhino ram things, but they're not too hard to deal with once you figure them out. Hi.
Hi. I have a hubby.
We all make decisions.
I love hubby. Yes, I do. He is sweet and smart too.
Aw.
Mm.
Love.
Love.
Okay, so hopefully this will let me get around all this. Oh, I wanted to slide so I can just get past you. Don't mind me, I don't have interest in fighting. I don't need what you're offering. This is gonna hurt us. Okay, see there's a bunch of glowing uranium up there. That's fine. Okay. So it's still aiming south. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Ow. So I'm overshooting this because I'm hitting my head up on this rock. Alright, I'm suddenly thinking that wasn't the way to climb up here. Now it's got a ton of poison the whole way up, which I don't have a good way of dealing it with. Not too fussed about that. I think we're getting not too far from one of the starting points. Okay, see a Mercer sphere surrounded by radiation that would kill me. How far off were we from parachutes? Oh, we're a long way away from parachutes. I gotta find mycelium. Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm down to tangle, but please don't yeet me into the void. Alright, got another shipwreck up there. There. More motors. The motors are the big one I'm hoping to find. Where's the... Oh, and there's rubber. And it's definitely enough rubber for what I need. Ah, it took motors to do that. I should have paid attention. It's fine. I probably should do it anyways. We don't need that, so grab you. Quick wire, I've got plenty of that, so we'll dump some of you. So, with that, if we go back to the previous one on the way back that we saw, that will give me what I needed. I do have more motors than I left with. It's just a little bit of a bummer, because if I get enough motors, we can get to where I can scan for the hard drives. Yeah, so you're up here. Right, and the one that required the rubber was to the south. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, not this way. And that's a wall I would break through that one would assume. Yeah, there's probably a whole cave system down there. No flash of an enemy attacking me yet.
If organs and veins are grown, and bones are dug into our walls, the temple gift is being desecrated. Our notes are sour still. Harmony follows many star journeys.
Patterns are starting to emerge in vocabulary, sentence structure, topics. How fascinating to once again solve a true mystery, to be unable to create any accurate predictions.
Okay. So, that'll take us straight across there. We have where we could use the rubber to the south down there. There you are. There's another whole ledge down there. And I'm partly going a different route so I can see. That's north again. Like, kind of cover more of the map, but I do want to turn down to get the other hard drive. I don't want to deal with that for that Mercer Sphere right now. That's a lot of BS right there. Okay. Ow, where? Okay. And do we have anything we care about over here? Mercer Sphere with a ton of guards around that they don't want to deal with. Bunch of poison. Alright, so at this point where you drop back down here, just a little bit to the left is where that other ship was that we needed the rubber for. The two that are the best ingredients for the omelet, the other is cheese and eggs, of course. Oh, the bacon shroom? Yeah. No bacon mushroom omelets? Yep. I hear you. I'm on board. Would you all chill out? Okay. So it's basically on the other side of that water there. Okay, so it's just over here that we need to be going. So many oil builds? Yeah, I haven't noticed any oil on this one. Right, it was this one here in the middle of all the poison. Oh no, this is a different one. Okay, let's add another map marker. And then you are going to be circuit boards. Please stop killing me. We got all the mushrooms. Okay, you chill for a moment. Okay. There you are, way over there. And again, hidden behind the poison. Okay, let's zoom. Well, actually, I need to stop poisoning me. Okay, so now you can zoom in and get rid of you. And so now I'm just trying to get back home. Okay. This feels kind of sketchy because I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the edge of the map. So if we go off the side here, we go into the abyss. Okay, we've got a cave here. Okay, where are you at? There we go. I'm hoping this cave punches through somewhere where I can get out the other side. Well, that's not what you want. Let's see. For purple slug, let's just chuck some concrete away. I really need to get that explosive rebar. Yes, that was the way to the plugged up cracked stone wall. And that was the way down there. Yes, This would go up top here. So my assumption is we can get... Yeah. Okay, this is where we came in. And I think that's kind of all she wrote for going this way. So my hope here so I can work my way over. Oh, there is ground down there. Okay, that might be workable. Oh, that's okay. Let's not go quite that ambitiously. Oh, come on. I messed up my jump and I was trying to like just eat my way through surviving that. Now, problem there is it's going to be down the giant hole and it's going to be right there with all that. Wait. Oh, right. I keep on me whatever we had there. So, unfortunately, that's going to be annoying to deal with. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, because we did die way down there, and that looked like it's a pretty far drop. But I just... Cool. I had just messed up, and I was going to try and slide and launch, and I missed the launch part. I was going to try and, you know, throw myself over to the other side where it'd be much lower down. But instead, I just fell. And got put down to a single point of health. The poison ticked, and finished the job. Now, the other problem I'm going to run into is my box is in the poison. So hopefully we can find a way that's not falling to our death to get there. And I'm just going to have to tank the poison long enough to grab the thing and get back out. We'll see. Because we definitely want to retrieve that because it had 2 or 3 hard drives in it, plus a bunch of other goodies like motors and whatnot that I can't make yet. On the plus side, since the last time I looked, we've got almost 1,000 more... That's fine. What? Excuse me? Train, I need you to be real. Okay, well the good news is able to circumvent that. I wasn't able to get whatever goodies were hiding in there. Okay, so it looks like I'm still going to be way above it. Yeah, because you are over there. Okay. There's a cave over there. Looks like there's a path down there. Okay, we're sliding. We're walking through terrain. Don't. No! Alright, we're doing a quick Alt F4. And the reason was that I clicked the wrong button in the hurry and I deleted everything in the box out of existence. And I'm sorry, but no. Deleting hard drives out of existence and that kind of stuff, that's a no. That's a hard no. I was trying to click fast, that way you could snag the box. Alright. So. Yeah, so we were still on our way over there. Okay, so we didn't lose much time. I'm surprised, because there didn't used to be the remove all button. Which, like, it makes sense, because you'd run into a situation where you had a death box and there was crap in it you just didn't care about. Don't ram me, don't ram me, don't ram me. No, okay. That's fine, I was already jumping off anyways. Okay. So I can go back over there. So we managed to slide down without taking damage. And it was just, I was getting ticked. It's very nice for deconstruction boxes too, when you're tearing down factories. Yeah, no, it's definitely like there's places where you have like a body that has junk in it you just don't care about. Or like when we're tearing apart the shipwrecks that, you know, there's a bunch of random plates and crap I'm never gonna come out and grab. So it is nice to be able to just kind of delete it from existence. Because the alternative was you'd have to grab the thing into your inventory. And then, you know, immediately going, it's fine. It's a good clip. Was a different cave. Yeah, that's where I was. Kind of what I figured. This cave is just a dead end. Be cool. Okay. All right. So that gets me the way down here, not basically dead. So my death box is right down there. So I'm going to do a quick cheeky save. That way we don't have to run through all that again. So things I see is this wall was destructible. So I could go through that wall. I don't really see another route through here. I mean, it's marking like there's... Oh, there's ledges above me. We've got tons of material here. Alright, well let's just get out of here. Let's not worry about doing too much more. Because I'm already in a place I ought not be. This would be the best way for here. This is definitely not the recommended route. Are you getting out? We're getting out by the fact that I have a ton of foundation materials in my bags. Because I have certainly played this game enough to know that sometimes you're minding your own business and you slip down the wrong place and now your resurrection stuff is, your inventory stuff, rather, is all, like, in the abyss that you gotta get, like, right down to the edge of what's considered part of the map. And the only way to recover is to be able to fall down to that one tile and then build a ramp back out, or build a ramp back down. Okay, so regardless of this, we got that material. We got our hard drives. Another 100 or so, smart plates got finished in the meantime. So I'm imagining a lot of those are up in the trees and all that. Okay, so we should be getting pretty close to home. If I get over one of these ridges here. And I am... Ooh, wait. Hello. How are you? Okay, we can go to production, power. Oh, I see what happened. And another hard drive. So you've been exploring? Yep. Exploring best we could. So remove all those. Drop you off. Grab the rotors. Drop you off. Grab the rods. Drop you off. And grab the cable. Notice the clip? Yeah, no, that's, unfortunate positioning and all that. It's fine. But yeah, so we're getting back over towards the factory. So really good news here. We're gonna finally get all that set up. And we've made pretty good progress. I know this is taking forever. We did boost this up to 100 times the resources to do the space elevator stuff. But we're getting ready to finish. It was great until it wasn't. Yeah, no, and I went to slide to jump and I missed the jump part of it and just slid right down in. And then just fell to my death and then... I mean, I fell down to the 1 hit point. And I got ticked. Yeah, no, I made the comment when we set this whole thing up that most likely we wouldn't finish. Which I still hold true to that. Okay. Sure. Alright, so for you... We don't have much you'd want. We didn't find any computers that time, which is a bummer. We did find a couple of motors, but not enough to be relevant. Alright, so let's drop this off. We're storing everything it lets us. Okay. We can get quartz easy enough, so stop hoarding that. Drop you in there. Silica we can get easy enough, so stop hoarding that. Oh, we could drop you in there. Packaged fuel I probably don't care about too much. In all considerations. Yeah, no, absolutely. The later phases, like the pro and the con of this as we scale these things up, shouldn't be too terrible. But yeah, no, it's going to be a slow burn. That's the only thing. The game even warns you, it's like, hey man, don't turn these up too much. You're going to have a rough time. And yeah, we're good. That's just the case. Alright. Unable to scan hard drive. No rewards currently available. Okay, so what I'm gonna need to do is personal storage box. We can chuck you in there. You in there, you in there. You in there, you in there. There you go. And the rest of those materials, oh, and the stators. The rest of the materials I should be able to use. Okay. Process all those into biofuel and all that. Yeah, no, definitely normally playing would be somewhere around phase 3 or 4 by now, as far as like time and effort goes into it. So it is wild. The thing I probably need to be doing, like, genuinely to speed this up is stop building the factory away I've been, like, set up a site off to the side, like a dedicated area that's like, this is the area we're making the rotors, and just scale and scale and scale, and go, this is the area where I'm making the reinforced plates, and scale and scale and scale, and keep doing that. We have been scaling this up, like, we have this giant factory going on. How is my solid fuel, by the way? We've been running around a lot. Okay, a little bit of depletion, not much. I'm gonna snag that off for making biomass later. Well, going from 50 to 5,000 is scary. Yep. So you'll be grass. We can switch you out. Okay, so let's check on our production line and see where we got our bottlenecks. Okay, so you're running at 100%, 100%. Yep. Good. Yep, I'm actually surprised. Really? Can I just toss more on here? Okay, I was honestly expecting these to be backed up because, like, it'd be low on rotors. Let's see, you got your Satisfactory shirt. Good timing. I need one too. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about a Satisfactory shirt. Okay, so I need some reinforced plates. Right, I just built that. It's not going to have any in it. Okay. Were you up at a height of 2? I'm guessing they're up at a height of 2. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And clean that up. Let's see, have you ever made a building dedicated to lots of coupons before? Yes, I have all the achievements in the game. So, like, I have done all thing. Because getting the golden nut was just a whole big ordeal. Okay, so we just added 3 more buildings producing that. Let's check on our power grid. We can significantly outpower or oututilize our power. So if all of our stuff starts coming online, we'll start having the power shut off, so we need to expand our power. Why are you so misaligned? Okay. Okay, so with that, we now have 570 power capability. Really getting nervous that we're going to start overwhelming our power production in a big way. Because, yeah. What was the item you mass-produced for the most of it? I believe it was, alien DNA, if I remember correctly. That, I found I could get really, really, really good results if I just went on hunting sprees and then just chucked it all into a setup where I would use the sloops to duplicate each step of the whole thing, and then feed that in there. I want to say that's what ultimately was the lion's share of it. Like, I ended up taking just about everything from antimatter, the whole pipe through, and just shoving it in there. I think the power shutdown noise is leading cause PTSD in Satisfactorians. Yep. Well, it's especially when you start getting into, like, nuclear power and, like, using coal and oil and all that, where you kind of have to, like, buffer up getting your mining drills and all that to produce stuff. So, like, when you exhaust your, you're running out. Like, when you start to have to buffer that, it becomes a whole thing. Okay, so we need... more rods. Okay, and that's not remotely overwhelmed, so let's go here. The batteries made it way less of an issue. Yeah, no, with the batteries you could sit there. It's like, for me, what I started doing is I started having, oh man, I can't remember how I had it set up. Excuse me, I do not know what you're doing, but please never do that again. But, I remember setting the whole thing up where I could take the... Oh, it was the priorities, that's right. And I had it set up on the priorities so that when things started to go down, it would leave my stuff that got my power up and running, like your coal mining drills and all that, would be like the last thing to shut down. So it ended up being incredibly useful for managing all that. Okay, so we're finally falling behind on the rotors again. The sheer amount of these are hooking up. And the funny thing about this is, we're going to do this for the smart plates, and then there's going to be a pretty long time before we need the smart plates again. We will ultimately need the smart plates again. Okay. Alright. Because they're smart. Okay, so we've increased the throughput here. Yeah, we upgraded all those. And you basically hit the point that the belt is at capacity. That, if I want to make even more rotors, I will need to have a second belt. Let's see, you kind of struggle at the idea to replay since you finished the game. You feel abandoned. You feel so abandoned now? You feel so abandoned now. Like, you finished the game and then it's just, like, wanting to go back. Like, you just can't do that? Or do you mean feel like the devs back? Because, I mean, like, we're literally, you know, just had another major update, like, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Oh, you know the ending of the story? Yeah, no, it's alright. Try not to spoil it for people who don't know how the thing ends. But yeah, no, it's a whole thing. It's definitely one of Satisfactory that I found after I finished the game, I didn't have nearly as much of a draw, desire, whatever you want to go with, to go back to replay more of it. Like doing a new playthrough. But it's not like Factorio. Factorio, when, you know, you launched the rocket, there was a desire to be like, well, I can launch it faster and more. Not like speed running, but like, you know, get the rocket to go quicker and quicker. But the whole just feeding the things in for points, generally didn't really entice me that much. The only thing that it did kind of work for it was just the fact that I wanted that achievement, because there was a couple of achievements I wanted because I had most of them. And I did the same with Factorios. Like, after I beat the game, I ran down all the achievements. And I want to go and do that since Space Age came out, because I haven't done that with Space Age. But the speedrun achievements that are like failable in that manner, I always find those achievements very demotivating. They kind of don't want to put the time in because you have to do so much min-max. You got There Is No Spoon? Yeah, no, before Space Age I had all of the achievements for Factorio. Then Space Age came out, and now I'm missing new ones that they added for Space Age. Let's see, Satisfactory felt complete at the end. The fact that they add essentially a new game plus is huge. Yeah, like the random thing. It's usually not what I think of when people say new game plus. To me, new game plus is like, you'd go and you'd like finish the game, and then you'd have a way of resetting the world, but you'd get a bonus or something, or like a higher difficulty. I would argue that this is more like a difficulty bonus, which is still good. Like, I'm not complaining. It's just, to me, New Game Plus is more like Chrono Trigger back in the day, where, you know, you'd finish the game, you'd roll credits, and then you'd start a new game with your same characters and items, minus quest items. Consider the plus as knowledgeable player. Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I get it. My thought is just New Game Plus, for me personally, hits like a very specific thing. Oh, we are officially outrunning our production. And this thing's running at capacity. I don't think there's a reasonable way we scale this up. I think this is our limit we're dealing with right here. That the factory, growing the factory now, until we get coal, is going to be very, very difficult. Because if I have to set up an entire separate production line here to accommodate things, because yeah, you're going you're going at speed. To get that whole setup, I'd have to duplicate all of this. And once we do that, it's going to be a very difficult thing to keep it fed with biomass. So that's fine. I mean, we did pick up the speed a lot on this going on. When we started, we were at about, was it 1,000? And we have been picking up speed a little bit. You can see it's almost, it's not counting every second, but it's every other second or so, like there's a couple going in. But this is the whole idea, is this is 100 times slower than normal, which does kind of compound because that means I can't get to the later tech. And me hunting hard drives does nothing for me. We've literally unlocked all the recipes we can lock at this stage. Yeah, we got an okay rate for these smart plates coming through. They're going through at a pretty decent rate considering we're at pre-phase 1 tech. Like, it's wild thinking that... Here, can we get an observation tower here? Okay. Like, it's wild that this is just our phase 1 factory, and it's honestly that plate hides that there's a whole bunch the whole way back here, too. But, like, this is just our phase 1 factory. That plate really does hide how much more factory there is down there. Like, this is to get into phase 1. Let's see, what's the math on phase 1 completion, fancy plates per minute? Honestly, that's worth considering. We could probably figure that out real fast by just going right over here. If we assume 100% efficiency, which is not safe, but we're going to assume it anyways. So we are getting 2 smart plates per minute out of each one of these. And that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12... 14, 16, 18, 20 per minute. And they are running at full. So it's 20 per minute. So we can go calc you later. Divide by 20. So assuming that's true, we'd be looking at 1 hour and 15 minutes. At our current rate to complete the phase of just the factory running. And that's for what we have left. Now, that said, pretty soon we're going to be switching over to our sponsored segment and all that stuff. You forgot the button for seeing, oh, right, they did add a calculator into the game, I think. But bear with me, chat, because we are getting ready to jump into our sponsored segment anyways. So... I'm just double checking 1 or 2 things real fast, making sure I don't have any incorrect stuff going on. Yes. So what's going to end up happening here? Nice background running. Oh no, I'm not going to leave this running in the background. I did that with the, we were down to the last stage of antimatter for, like, I did that both times. We did, or 2 of the 3 times we did our runs, that I got into that weird spot where it's going to be like 3 hours of waiting for the factory to produce the thing to finish the game. Or I could try to expand it to make it faster, but that would require, like, building out a whole nother loop for the nuclear power, which is going to take me more than 3 hours to do. So you're kind of going, okay, I can just wait and I win, and it's about 3 hours. Or I can put in all the work to speed up the production, which will take longer than it'll take to wait. And it was just one of those things like, I guess we wait. But with that said, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to quickly run and use the restroom and do all that stuff. On the YouTube side, the stream will come down for a minute, but then we're going to be switching over to our sponsored segment, which is going to be the Hunter Call of the Wild, which will be my first time playing it. I'm curious what people think about that, because that's not a typical game I play, but we'll give that a go. That sponsored segment is about 2 hours. We'll have more stream to go after that, about 3 or so hours after that. and we will play it by ear what we're playing at that point. But with that said, what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to drop the YouTube stream, because we're going to be wrapping this up here in a minute. I'll let the factory run in the meantime. I'm going to step away to quickly use the restroom, top off my drink, get ready to do all that, and then get on to switching over to the sponsored segment. I'll be back in just a minute, and